Today we're going to talk about the best areas to move to in Colorado. Now this is going to be slightly different type of video that you're used to seeing from me. Usually I've got tons of stories for you guys about my experience living here in Colorado, but I will admit that when I first came to Colorado, I skipped all of the other areas that most people flock to, like Denver, Boulder, Fort Collins, Colorado Springs, and I went straight to the mountains up here in Breckenridge, and I love the mountain lifestyle. So obviously the best place, in my opinion, is going to be Breckenridge. So I want to give you guys some research-based evidence to support why you should move to these other areas. And the reason I say this is because I'm licensed in the state of Colorado, so I can help you buy a home in any part of the state. I've got great referral partners through Sotheby's International Realty that can help you all over. So if you think you want to move elsewhere besides Breckenridge, let me know. I can hook you up with any of my referral partners and we can help you buy a home or find a place to live anywhere in the state. Anyway, let's get into it and let's talk about all the best areas to move to. So number one is going to be Aurora. Aurora is great, third largest city in Colorado, 10 miles from downtown Denver, offers big city amenities at a great price. Aurora is super affordable. I helped friends buy a townhome a few years back for $235,000, I think the price was. Now I think the average price on a home is $480,000. So still less than half of what it costs to buy a home in Breckenridge. Population of about 387,000 people. Yeah, all different homes, 5-bed, 2-bath for $435,000, 3-bed, 3-bath for $454,000. Average rent for a 1-bedroom apartment is a little under $1,700 a month, so way cheaper than Summit County. Now, in terms of lifestyle in Aurora, there are tons of activities. You've got more than 100 parks in town, biking, boating, hiking, horseback riding, ice fishing at the Cherry Creek State Park, which I've personally been to. It's a beautiful park. I highly recommend going there and walking the dog, go for a jog, very relaxing. Something that, honestly, Summit County doesn't have a lot of is a good park space. If you like that city park kind of feel, you get a lot of that down on the Front Range. Here, not so much, so Aurora is going to be a great spot to check that out. And then if you're a big sports enthusiast, you're going to love the proximity to all the major sports events that we have. We've got formerly Mile High Stadium. We still call it Mile High Stadium as Coloradans, but Empower Field, I think it's called now, to see the Denver Broncos. Go to Coors Field to see the Colorado Rockies. You can get tickets for like $8 in the bleachers in the back. So a great thing to do to hang out for super, super cheap. Then you can go see the Denver Nuggets. I am a huge basketball fan, so I'll make it a thing to go see the Denver Nuggets play a couple times a year. Love going to see them play. They're a championship team, a lot of fun. And then the Colorado Avalanche as well. They won the championship a few years back. They also play at the Pepsi Center, or Ball Arena as it's called now. So yeah, tons of sports to do in great proximity if you live in Aurora. All right, the number 2 area is going to be Boulder. Boulder is awesome little area. Vibrant college town in the Rocky Mountains base. A little bit more on the liberal side of things, I'll say for sure, but that's okay if that's what your thing is. Outdoor adventures, 30-minute drive to Denver, home to the University of Colorado. Boulder provides access to top-notch academic institutions. Again, things that we just don't have here in Summit County. So if you have kids that are looking to get a great education, go down to Boulder, and yeah, University of Colorado is a great option. You do get some great mountain views right at the foothills of the Rocky Mountains. So there's some great hikes to do there. Great vibrant downtown scene. Tons of different places to go visit. Oak, Flower Child, Sherpa's Adventure Restaurant and Bar Kitchen are some of the examples. And they also have a vibrant arts scene. Museums, live theater, summer festivals include Colorado Shakespeare Festival, Colorado Music Festival at historic venues. And then as far as housing goes there, definitely more expensive than Aurora. You're talking about $920,000 for the median home price. Average rent is a little under $1,900, and the median household income is about $80,000. All right, the number 3 area is Fort Collins. This is the 4th largest city in Colorado. Awesome home base for college students, families, retirees, and everywhere in between. They have over 20 craft breweries, so if you're a big beer drinker, definitely check that out. We have also got some great craft breweries here in Breckenridge. But anyway, back to Fort Collins. Fort Collins accounts for 70% of all of Colorado's craft beer production, so that's the place to go if you're into getting beer. It's home to Colorado State University, a big college town. Was recently named number 3 on College Ranker's 50 best college towns. Median home price there is about $570,000. The average rent for a one bedroom is, again, a little under $1,700. Median household income is about $70,000. And just like Aurora, just like Boulder, just like everywhere in Colorado, it is an outdoorsman paradise. Several lakes and the Cache La Poudre River, where you can hike, bike, whitewater raft if that's what you're into. Other things to do are visit the exhibit at the Fort Collins Museum of Discovery, visit the Birds of Prey at the Rocky Mountain Raptor Center, indulge in upscale cultural experiences at city theaters, art galleries, and museums. Cost of living in Fort Collins is about a 105.0. National average is 100. And that's pretty much what you're gonna find across the board here for most of these areas, is that the cost of living in Colorado is generally higher speaking than the rest of the country. So of the areas that we've mentioned so far, have you guys ever thought about moving to any of these areas or maybe other areas in Colorado and then decided at some point that it wasn't the right move for you? I wanna know, why did you decide you weren't going to move to Colorado? Comment down below and let me know. All right, number 4 area is Colorado Springs. Got a big military presence here. Major employers include Lockheed Martin and the U.S. Air Force, and the military academy is there. It's also where the military, I believe the Air Force is located. We constantly get those jets flying over Summit County, which is a sight to see for sure. They get real low. Sometimes when you're up on the ski resort at the top of the mountain, they'll even fly below you, which is super cool, just kind of like scraping the hillside. Very, very cool. But yeah, Colorado Springs, it's located at the base of Pikes Peak. Pikes Peak is a crazy mountain because Colorado Springs is at a lower elevation, around 5,000 feet, I believe. So Pikes Peak is a 14er. So going from 5,000 feet and seeing a 14er, that's almost 10,000 feet of mountain that you're looking at. So it is one of the most colossal looking mountains because you're starting at such a low altitude. Colorado Springs is the state's second largest city, and it is known as Olympic City, USA, hosts the U.S. Olympic and Paralympic Committee with a training center and attracts 15,000 Team USA athletes annually. The median home price in Colorado Springs is on the cheaper side of things, $460,000. That's an average price per square foot of $218. And then as far as activities go, things to do, you can do an educational day out with the family by going to the U.S. Air Force Officers and Olympic and Paralympic Athletes Training Center. Visit the Cheyenne Mountain Heritage Center, Pioneers Museum, Peterson Air and Space Museum, and a money museum. And then one of the coolest things to do is to visit the Garden of the Gods. When Stephanie and I first moved out here along I-70, we went to go down to Colorado Springs to see what was up because we heard about Garden of the Gods, and it is amazing, surrounded by red rock, these spires that kind of come up out of the ground, and it seems like something out of heaven. So I definitely recommend going to check out Garden of the Gods if you're down in Colorado Springs. All right, number 5, we can't talk about the best places to live in Colorado without talking about Denver. Denver is the capital and the largest city here in Colorado. And this is where you're gonna find most of your industry. So if you're looking as a young professional to get a job, a good paying job, something that can sustain you long term, this is where you're going to find it. Denver has a ton of different job sectors, from aerospace, defense, biotech, healthcare, finance, and hospitality. Happy home of many young professionals and increasingly more remote workers, especially as we get more into the tech space and the AI revolution that is taking over the nation right now. Median home price is about $637,000. Estimated monthly expenses living down there is going to be over $8,000. Again, cost of living is crazy high out here. Average income is about $72,000 each. Now, on top of all those other industries that I had mentioned, Denver has a great cannabis industry. The cannabis industry has turned Denver into a pot boom town. It was legalized back in 2012, and it contributes to its number 2 ranking on Business Insider's 2019 Best Places to Live list. So yeah, if you're a pot smoker, a pot enthusiast, whatever, Denver's gonna be the place for you. And then in terms of things to do, Denver's got a ton of things to do. I already mentioned all the sports arenas to go. You've got the Paramount Theater, which we've seen a couple of bands perform at before. Denver's got a great downtown scene with tons of restaurants. And then you've got over 5,000 acres of parks, trails, golf courses, and playgrounds. The area's proximity to the Rocky Mountains, you're only about an hour to like everything that the Rocky Mountains has to offer, so it's just a short drive. And then you've got things like whitewater rafting, hot springs, hiking, and zip lines, all within an hour, hour and a half drive. Or you can take a pedal boat across Smith Lake in Washington Park. You can hike the Mile High Trail at City Park. Tons of things to do if you're down in Denver. Now, if you can't afford a house down in Denver, you can rent something, and it's probably going to be the best financial decision because the rent is comparable to all the other areas that I mentioned, being around $1,700 to $1,800 a month for a one-bedroom apartment. But you have the convenience of being in the city, so you can walk to pretty much everything you got to get to, and the public transportation down in Denver is pretty good as well. You can go down to Union Station, which is the main hub down there, and take a bus or a train to pretty much anywhere. You can even take a train all the way to Winter Park Ski Resort. So Denver's gonna be a great option financially because you just have proximity to so many things, and you won't have to have maybe have a car, things of that nature. If you can't end up affording a house, having that rent be comparable to the rest of the state, but having all that convenience is going to be a great choice. And so that brings us to the last best place to move, and you guys knew it was coming. It is Breckenridge in Summit County, Colorado. This place is the tits, man. It does not get any better than living here. Summit County, Colorado is dubbed Colorado's playground because we are the first stop from Denver. It takes about an hour to an hour and 20 minutes to get here from the Front Range, and we've got all of the outdoor activities that you're going to enjoy moving out here in Colorado. So it is the best place to live, in my opinion, especially if you're a remote worker. Instead of living in the city life, dealing with all the traffic and all the people and all the nuisance, come up here, get yourself a place, live the outdoor lifestyle, do a couple of things you got to do, work in the morning or go skiing in the morning and then work the rest of the afternoon. Man, this is just the place to be, and it's one of the reasons we just skipped over Denver because we didn't want to be dealing with city nonsense. We just wanted to come straight to the mountains and enjoy our life. And yeah, Summit County, definitely the best place to move. But I get it's not for everybody. Maybe there's a different place that you want to live here in Colorado, and there's tons of different options, tons of different climates, tons of different industries. Colorado is such a diverse state. So if you're thinking you want to move to Colorado, but maybe not Breckenridge and Summit County specifically, let me know. Again, I cover the entire state. I'm happy to talk to my referral partners and we can get you hooked up to find you the best place to live. And if you're ready to make that move, call this number on the screen right here or text it. This is my personal cell. You'll talk directly with me or comment down below and I'll be sure to reach out to you. And I will see you guys next week.